Hey guys, welcome back to Gant's Homesteading. So today I'm going to work with my bees, see if I can't get it on video for y'all. What I need to do is remove the feeder from my small bees, my small hive, and check to see if they need a second box added. So the brown level right there, so that is a feeder. They were struggling for a while, so I added a feeder, but the feeder is now empty, and it'll attract wasps. So what I want to do is remove that and add this second box to it. Like you can see, the bigger one over there is taller. That's because it's already got a second box. I also need to check on them, make sure that they're doing okay. It's super hot, but it's mainly humid. Yesterday was worse. They were the big hive was bearding out pretty bad, but it's not near as humid as it was yesterday. It was like 80% humidity here in Arkansas yesterday, or at least where I am, and it was 98 degrees, so it was well over 110 once you add in humidity. So they were pretty hot. You can have a hive that has a screened bottom. I did not get one of those. They did not have it in stock when I was getting my bees, and I always tend to get my animals before I get what I need for my animals. That's how I work. I don't know why. So I had picked up my bees and I needed hives really bad. So I just went and got what they had. I love my local bee store. They're awesome. And they'll break anything down for me. So I'm going to try to set up my camera, and then I need to get my smoker going. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna set it up. All right, guys. So I think I got this set up for y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna light my smoker, and then I've got my hive tool here. I'm pretty confident in my bees. I have very gentle bees, I feel like. We haven't been using our gear. So by all means, if you're not confident, make sure to wear your gear, because they know when you're afraid. But bees get to know you through your scent and your voice. So that's how they get to know you. We definitely got pretty lucky when we bought our bees. They're a nicer type of bees. So what I have is just an old cotton cloth in here, and then I've also got some leaves down in here as well. So what I do is I just kind of light it and get it smoking. I don't always smoke my bees, but I'm going to, just for the sake of the video. And it is hot out here. It may not be 80% humidity, but it's still hot. Okay, so I'm gonna smoke the front of my bees. What you do is you smoke the front, and then they take the signal into the hive. Oh, and there is a wasp right there. So wasps can be pretty dangerous to your hive, but bees also will kill wasps. They use their body temperatures. Wasps typically only attack smaller hives. So I'm going to show you this feeder. It's an awesome feeder. So this is an all-weather feeder, so I can use it in the summer or the winter. where in the winter you use a thicker feeder. It's like almost like a jelly paste. In the spring and summers, you use just water and sugar, a 50-50 solution. So let's show you the inside. So unfortunately, ants have already got in here, which, you know, happens. It's sugar. But so this is the feeder, and you can see, you might be able to see, I can't tell on my screen, but there's bees like right in here. What they do is they fly up from the box. So they're what are they called? Combs are in here, and then they fly up right here and they get the liquid. This is so they don't drown, and then they can do it in all four corners. And then in the winter, we remove all that plastic because they're not going to drown, because it's a thick kind of like pasty. I don't know how to explain it. So what I need to do is break it loose from the hive because they build around it. And you want to be careful because you don't want to damage very much. But this hive tool is great. So all I'm gonna do is set it on the ground here because, and I'll show you, the bees have on it. So there's bees on it. So I will leave it out here until at least tonight when they're all inside. But this is the inside. This is my smaller hive, and it's not growing as quick as my other hive. So when I got them, it came with 4, and that's really all that they have working on them right now is the 4. They're slowly expanding. And I do have a queen cell in there, so I think they are trying to make a new queen. Let's see if I can't go around here. But see how there's not a whole lot of activity on the outside. Let's see if I can't. So it's really hot, so they're not really moving much, and I've had a feeder on them, so they haven't branched out in a while. They've just been feeding from the inside. But there is a queen cell. Dakota looked in it a couple of weeks ago. So I don't really want to disturb their combs because he did have to go through and look for the queen. There is a queen, but there is one queen cell. So they are probably building a new queen. There might be something wrong with the queen, which is fine. It happens. So now what I'm going to do, since we took the feeder off, is I'm just going to put the inside cover. Because they don't need another box yet. You don't want to give them another box unless they have filled up all of their combs. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera. So they are working this one right here, this one, this one, this one, and this one. When you add a new box to it, there should only be like 1 or 2 empty. And they're still just pretty much just working these 5, which are the 5 that I got when I got my bees. So I'm hoping that it's just because it's late in the season that they'll do better next year. So I'm gonna put the camera down so I can put the inside top on, and then I'll put the outside top back on, and then we'll look into the bigger one and see how they're doing. So I just want to clean this off, make sure there's not, because it was on the ground. I don't know if you can see, but they had combs on it when we added the feeder. They had already built on this. Sorry, I have a bee that's like really curious. Sorry, I don't want to swat it because it will make them sting. But when I add this one layer on, I want to make sure that I'm not squishing any bees. And then I add my second layer, and that is just double protection on them. So things can't really get out. That's just one box. The feeder is there, and that's just the one box with the double heads. And yes, I was using cat food to hold my camera. All right, so let's take a look into the bigger one. I'm gonna have to relight my smoker. So let me get reset up so you can see that one while I do it. And once again, it's still full of bees. You know, they're gonna test it, see if and you can see they're still in there looking for the sugar water. And they do like peaches, I have found out. I did go to the pick a peach here in my area, and I got quite a bit of peaches, but a lot of them, just because of the heat and the humidity, by the time I made it home, were yucky. And I noticed while I was there that the peaches on the ground were swarmed in honeybees. I mean, absolutely swarmed in honeybees. So I thought, well, why not just give all the bad peaches to my bees? So what I did was I stuck them on my back porch. Earlier this week, it was like 4 in the morning, so before the sun was up. And I just set them outside, and I was going to bring them down here, you know, a little later in the day. And when I went to let my dogs out and bring those down here, they were so covered in bees that I couldn't even tell that they were peaches. So I'm like carefully walking them out here, like, don't sting me, just eat your peaches. They never even budged. They didn't even acknowledge that the peaches were moving. And I dumped them on the ground, and they all just fell on the ground with the peaches. So they thoroughly enjoyed the peaches. So I've just been giving them peaches pretty much every day this week. I'm hoping to go back again tomorrow and get some more peaches. Once again, I'm just lighting my cotton in here. I want to use organic. I don't want to use any synthetics in here. And like I said, I have some leaves and stuff like that. It's not really smoking that great. There it goes. Okay, so I'm going to take the outer cover off of this. And so now I'm going to gently lift the inner cover. I don't know if they've made it this high up into making their honeycombs. So I'm just trying to be gentle. It feels like there's honey underneath here. I mean, waxy. It does feel like it's more stuck on than the other one was. Oh, yeah. Very much active. I'll have to definitely show you this one. Let me make sure I'm smoking. So this one is a much bigger, and we just recently added this one. So I'm not surprised that they're not all the way up it, but I can see, I don't know if I can zoom in and show you, but I'm gonna try. Down in there, I can see where the honeycomb is going from the bottom box here up to the second box of combs, how they are working it up, which is a really good sign. This is definitely our good hive. And this outer lid was covered in bees, which makes me happy. It just means that, you know, they're definitely working it and they're working up. And here's a chicken eating the comb off of the feeder that they had built on it. All right, so these are looking good. I don't think these need anything. I don't think they need a feeder. I can see how active they are in there. Like I said, I'm not sure that I can get it on camera, but I'm trying. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it up and call that as a done for the day. I'll step away into the shade. So that is me learning bees and trying to explain to y'all some bees. I'm excited. I'm hoping next year we can at least get a couple of splits. If not, we definitely want to try to catch some swarms. That is something Dakota and I are really wanting to do, is to catch some swarms. But at the very least, I hope we can get a little bit of honey. There is honey in the bigger one. Dakota checked a couple of weeks ago and there was honey in there, but we don't want to rob them of the honey because they're going to need it for the winter. If we take their honey now and they're not able to replenish it and then some, they probably won't make it through the winter. And my luck, we get bees and it's going to be a really bad winter. But we'll see. We will all learn together. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you think about the bees. If you have any advice, if you know more about bees than we do, I'm all ears for it. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. Bye.